DJ Giddens, Kansas State running back, 6 foot and 1/4 inches, 212 pounds, 9 1/4 inch hands. He's 21. He'll be 22 in August as well. He had a 4.43 in the 40-yard dash, 1.53 10-yard split, 4.33 20-yard shuttle. He had a 130-inch broad jump, so this guy's explosive. 39.5-inch vertical, more explosion numbers. Boom, boom, boom. In 12 games last year, he had 205 attempts, 1,343 yards rushing. I don't know how. 7 touchdowns, 21 receptions, 258 yards receiving, and 1 additional touchdown.
We are a house divided on
in
this
Kansas
guy.
State.
Probably got it all versus Colorado.
Yeah, probably. In Kansas State, they had the 40th best run blocking offensive line, and yards after contact for him last year was 857, which was good for 13th best.
Yeah, so you guys really disliked him, except for Garrett over here. I thought he was okay. I think for, again, as a running back wise, he showed some, I thought he showed some good vision, a little bit of patience there. Obviously had the speed to get the hole to get some plays there and give you some chunk plays. And obviously, really, there's a good note in here. Real secure with the football, right? Only fumbled the once out of 428 times from PFF. But I don't trust his power, his pass protection. I don't like his hands. Like, could he catch? But like, it wasn't great. And there's the times where like he was just open in the flat, and like I swear the quarterback saw him and was like,
he's not a good. He cannot catch passes. No, he drops a lot of easy passes,
and he has no stretch. There's like nothing. Everything off frame is real tough for him. And like, when I first watched his tape, I was like, oh, like he swung out a lot, like out into the flat a lot. I was like, oh, he might be one of these PPR running backs. I heard his name.
I think it's because he's so shit at pass pro.
Yeah,
that they were like just
avoid. It's like he's avoiding contact or something.
Yeah. No, he looks completely uninterested in pass pro. So all right, just go out for a pass. At least you'll somebody.
This
you'll
might
bring
be the
somebody
running back
out.
I get Garrett apparel for this year. Every year I get him something for like the running back he loves.
Yeah, so
I bet you my guy's drafted ahead of your guy. Hey, we'll put a bet on it.
Hey, listen. For as much as I have already poo-pooed him a little bit,
I will.
He's a much better prospect than like a Donovan Edwards for me, who's
the worst in the class,
who just does not have anything for me. Yeah. Like he just, but there's still
worst.
There's still some things that I don't know. I didn't feel like I don't think he was a guy that ran to his he doesn't play to his time speed of 4.4.
I don't think he plays to his potential.
He got chased down multiple times.
Dude, no, he does have some flash plays where I'm like, okay, there's something right there. And it was mostly for Colorado, which I noted here, but there's some flash plays that I was like, okay.
There definitely is, but he got run down by a DB from Tulane. And the guy caught up to him.
That guy was moving.
But still.
The number 8?
Yeah,
he was moving.
A guy from Tulane.
I was like, dang, bro.
Was he or was Giddens just not moving? I don't know. I mean,
because even the other guy that was chasing him, it was like close. And then number 8's just like, boom, like dude was flying.
Like DK Metcalf a year ago.
Yes, it felt like that because like him and the DB, it's like it's close. And then all of a sudden you just like out of frame, this guy just flies.
What a turtle.
So there's that. I think he has good lateral agility. I don't think like he's without skill. But I don't love his vision. I think he takes some questionable.
That's where we're gonna differ
I had his vision graded actually pretty decent.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought his vision was solid too. I thought he did really good at like.
I just thought his physicality and pad level and receiving and pass pro break tackle.
And listen, I was having a hard time. There was something I was watching that I was having a hard time nailing down, and I think I just landed on vision, like the guy's vision. But he just doesn't seem to be a guy that runs with a plan. I feel like everything that comes at him, he is reacting to, instead of a guy like we were talking about, Travion Henderson, who will set up his next move with the move he's making now. Like the next guy, he's two spots ahead, almost playing chess, and this guy is getting double jumped in checkers. You know what I mean? Like I just feel like
king me.
Like he just, so everything just seems like a little bit like of a grind, a little bit of a struggle to maybe play up to his potential. To your point there, Jared. So I don't know. So he plays a little bit too high, so there's not much power generated there either. I'm just going to kind right through all of my crap here on him.
Your dumpster juice.
Yeah, just keep it going. You're going on for about 10 minutes now.
All right, fine. But there are some nice things that you see occasionally pop off. So I don't want to make it sound like this guy is without any merit.
Yeah.
But he's just not a guy that I love.
And it's funny because I think we're going to say some similar things with outside the vision. I think we're going to say some similar things, but I think just how we view it is just maybe a little bit different because
Tell us why you love him.
Part of it is I do think he has very good vision. There was one play specifically against Baylor where I could tell he felt the defender closing in and he was focused too much on it and he did hit his offensive lineman. And I was like, ooh, that wasn't good. But that was the only time I saw him do that. I didn't see him do that anymore.
You're going to catch that in almost everyone's tape eventually. Like, so, it's not that big of a deal.
Right. So I only saw it the one time, but I saw specifically, like, there were many times where he would do a very good job of, on the first level, finding that hole pretty quickly and then real quickly reacting to the second level defenders that were coming down. And so I think his elusiveness, honestly, was one of the best in the class.
Let me ask you this on that note. Because I do agree. I think he's great. He's got good side-to-side movement skills. I think that's great. Trayvon Henderson, you talked about specifically his movements and not losing speed.
Yeah.
This guy, he moves laterally, and I wrote on here, just don't dance 2025. Like the game, like seriously, like.
And I think that's fair. And
I think he does too much of that.
I would agree with that. So it is one of those things where you see it and you're like, wow, he has some great elusiveness, but you're right. It does hinder him from making more big plays at times. Yeah. So I think that's one of those things that if that can be coached up a little bit, like, hey, that big dramatic move, yes, it's highlight worthy. And yes, you made that dude look like an idiot, but you made what could have been a 40-yard play into a 15-yard play because of that. So I think there are some of those kinds of things where if he could be more efficient in his movement instead of some of the big dramatic movements, I think that's a big thing. I agree in pass protection, doo-doo. I agree that pass catching, it is awkward at times. Now, he made a couple nice like basket catches on some deep throws and stuff. So like it's not completely not there, but there are times, like especially Rich, you said it correct. If it's not inside the frame, it seems like he's fighting it a little bit.
And there were obvious times when if he was a good pass catcher, they should have thrown the ball to him, and the quarterback freaking ignored that whole side of the field.
That's the biggest concern for me, and that's why I mentioned before. Like he went out to the flat a lot, but like, and there would be times like like everybody else is like I swear.
And it wasn't like that quarterback is a good rusher. Like he was pretty slow, and he would get like 2 yards.
Their quarterback at Kansas State, he's.
Oh yeah, he had.
Maybe I'm thinking of another quarterback.
I was saying he's a pretty good athlete.
He actually had a rushing touchdown that was pretty sweet.
Yeah, he's a pretty good athlete.
Okay, my bad.
But there'd be times though, like
his combine was really good, right?
That he threw the football. Like I swear, like Giddens was there in the flat. He looked at Giddens and then he looked right, and then he just threw the football away.
Is that just kidding?
Yep.
He like literally, he threw the football away, and he was just wide open in the flat. And I was like, "What is going on there?"
Yeah.
And then he finally. I swear.
Then you see him flub a few.
I'm thinking of that, and then the very first pass he does throw to him, it's off frame, and he goes right off his hands. He's just like this. He doesn't even move. He just goes right off his hands. So
yeah. So I think that's the thing for me. Is I think his potential is very high. When you look at that size, when you look at that speed, you look at that explosiveness, I think teams are going to look at a player like this and say, does he have some bad habits on some things?
And that's
yes.
That's where I'm with you. Like I think there's some ups. Like, do I love the player? No, but like again, if I'm gambling, I'd rather just
mid to late third round pick.
Yeah. And what's good about drafting a guy like DJ Giddens here, like say it's like late third, early fourth in your rookie draft, like you'll know what you have pretty quickly in this guy. And if you have something, you've got something. And I'd much rather have a guy like that can just dispose of and move on to the next rookie pick than sit around for some of these guys. Even like, I'd rather have Devin Neal, but like the same thing. Like
they're almost like I like both players, but they're almost completely opposites.
Yeah. I like Devin Neal in case like I have like a couple injuries, I got to fill my flex spot.
Yeah,
I like DJ Giddens to like try and fill one of my starting spots.
Is this guy? This guy could be nothing. This guy has the abilities to be really good.
Is he Chuba Hubbard? Like is that like his upside?
Maybe. I mean, very different style player, but yes, like it's a player where he does a couple things really well. Chuba, for him, it was like long speed and acceleration.
North, south, gone.
Yes. Like he's not making guys miss, but like if he gets in an offense where they're going to utilize that well, then yes.
It worked out.
And it ended
took
up
a while,
out.
but it worked out.
There's plenty of other guys with similar types of things where like they have that skill set and they have athletic abilities that are really nice. Like, but they just never, never. Or Izzy Abanikanda, where crushes the combine and all that kind of stuff, and it just nothing happens with it.
Or Bishop Sankey from years back,
sure,
who was there were some things there, and then they just never materialized.
So I think that's the difference. Is just like you see other players, and I'm like, I don't see any ceiling with you. Whereas this guy's like, sure. I see a lot of ceiling, so that makes me very interested.
So what number do you got on him for your nerd score?
I have him with a 72. Where am I?
So he's in with all the other 72s, huh?
Yep. So he didn't crack my top 10. Only guys in the 73s cracked the top 10, which is pretty absurd, by the way.
His pass pro was just so bad.
It was really bad. I think I gave him the second lowest in the class.
What number do you have on that?
I'm never super mean unless I see that they're completely incapable. So I have a 5, but I could probably be a lot more mean.
I had a 4.
Damn, you gave him a 9 in elusiveness, huh?
I think he's the most elusive player in the class.
I disagree there, even though I like him.
Who would be more elusive?
Taj Brooks.
Trevor Henderson.
Yes and no. Like, I respect it because, like, he's a very efficient, but
Jordan James.
Ashton Genty.
Yeah, Ashton Genty.
Ashton Genty, it's contact balance. I don't think it's as much make you miss as it is like.
But here's where I'm kind of down, not down, where I'd go also other ways. Like, there's even another player we're going to talk about in this episode that I think also fills in that category a little bit, and I think they even so Giddens for me, like, he's in a real big tier of guys, like gamble guys. But there's something there.